Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of my little behind the scenes feature. This one I want to dive more into not only why I do the blog itself, but why I went with The Honest Gamer as the name for it. Excuse me. So, the blog itself honestly started from a little tiny idea from my fiance. I like to write. I've been writing for years, and obviously I like to game, and she gave me the idea to kind of combine the two. And at first, I wasn't really into it. I didn't really think I could pull it off well enough to get known. And then the more I thought about it, the more it was like, well, it would be fun to just kind of do it and see where it went anyways. But I knew the first step was figuring out what I wanted, I guess, my character to be per se. Took a couple of months to figure it out, and I ended up going with The Honest Gamer because, over the past couple of years beforehand, I'd gotten into a number of different YouTube gaming channels, a lot of ones that focused on reviews, and the one thing I didn't like was I felt that there was a lot of skit type stuff, and I felt like those didn't really review the game, and the ones that did, I feel like they kind of slapped it with a good or a bad label. And, I mean, yeah, there are some games that are just good, and there are some games that are just bad, but there's really not that many, I felt. So I kind of thought it would be cool to just take an honest approach to reviewing a game. And that's the whole birth of the Honest Gamer character, persona, whatever you want to call it. So then after I figured out the character, the game itself that actually kind of locked in for me that it was a good choice was playing Top Gun on NES. I'd seen Angry Video Game Nerd's review on it, and as everyone knows, his character kind of lays into the games and specifically goes after the bad retro ones. And for the longest time, I'd always see it in retro stores, and I'd never pick it up because I'd always remember that video. And finally was like, you know what? Pick it up, try it out. And so I did, and I tried it, and I loved it. And which is why I think it was the second thing I reviewed for the blog. But yeah, no, that was definitely the game that kind of locked in, this is a good choice for me character-wise. Because, you've got him saying the game sucks. But I loved it. And from there I kind of also realized in the past when, new game releases would be coming out, I've got a friend who kind of lives through the reviews and the previews of the games and goes by what the reviewers say. So if the reviewers say, oh, this thing sucks, it's short, don't play it, it's not even worth your time, he'll cancel his pre-order and move on to something else. And I've never been like that, because I know I have a different taste personally than any gamer, really. Because I've always liked getting my own opinion. I don't care if it's been a game or a movie or a TV show or a book or anything. I'll take my own opinion over anybody else's. So from playing Top Gun, like I said, it kind of locked in that it was the right choice for me. And it just, like I said, the Honest Gamer itself kind of clicked more into place then, because I was like, there's no point in running this game into the ground when it's playable. Everyone else might not love it, might not even like it, but it's worth a shot. So from that realization, I was like, whether this turns into something, or whether it's just my friends and coworkers checking it out, or whatever it may be, I'm going to do this. Because I feel like it's at least worth taking the shot on getting the one review out there for a game that'll be completely honest about it. And, you know, like I've got the little epitaph, if you want to call it, on the blog itself, and I know I've mentioned it in another video or a post or wherever, that I want to do the completely honest reviews, because the good games are going to have shitty moments, and the horrible games are going to have cool segments, and I feel even those ones in particular deserve that recognition, I guess. And if you'll notice right now, I have one of my Evil Within streams playing in the background. I don't know how clear it's coming up for you guys. I tried to get it the best quality I could. The reason this is streaming behind me for this video is because when I was writing the review for this game, I realized that this game is the prime example of how and why I want to do the blog and the channel the way I do it. Because I'd heard so many good things about this game. You know, the fact that the director for the original Resident Evil was attached to it. You know, all this hyped up stuff about it going into it. And I figured I'd fall in love with it. I got a few chapters in, and I could just shrug at the game. I will say right now, if you haven't read the review, and if you have, I apologize, this is going to be a little repetitive for this one specifically. I wasn't a fan of this. I also did a post on the blog that kind of dove into the difference between survival horror and action horror, and I like them both, but I'm kind of slightly more on the side of action. And this one definitely leans more heavily into the survival territory. And it wasn't just that for why I don't like The Evil Within. But, you know, like I said, as I was writing the review for this one, and actually it was during writing the final thought on it, like I said, this one is the example of why I want to do the reviews the way I do them. Because I might not personally like it, and I might not be a fan of it, but I don't want my opinion to become yours. Because you are going to like games different than I do. We might like some of the same games, but we might like them for different reasons. And, you know, I'm probably going to like some of the ones you hate, you're going to like some of the ones I hate. It all kind of, everybody's different. And so I don't want any of my reviews, any of my Let's Plays, anything that I do to be, you know, this is what I think, so stay away. Or this is what I think, go run out and get it. Because, like I said, I don't think that's really fair, not just to the game, but to the players. You know, so I want to do, every review I do, I want it to focus on an honest representation of the game. Kind of narrow the scope, I guess, for who might like it. If you've been reading the blog, when I get to the final verdict on the games, a lot of times, you know, I'll start it off with, you know, for people that like, you know, this genre of gaming, or for people that like that genre of gaming, you might like this one. And that's how I feel it should be done. Because like I said, I've noticed a lot of channels, like I said, they'll hype it because they think it's good, or they'll burn it to the ground because they think it's bad. And, you know, they don't really spend a lot of time focusing on the stuff that wasn't their opinion. And I try to make sure I pull any bias of mine out of the reviews. You know, because I've done a couple of reviews for things that I've already played before, like the Dead Space games. And, you know, I can rant and rave about Dead Space all day long. I love the games. I love everything about the games and the mythology and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to vomit all that in your direction and, essentially make you feel like I'm telling you you're stupid if you don't like this game. That really kind of sums up why I do The Honest Gamer. Like I said, I didn't really go into this thinking or hoping it would take off, and it kind of has-ish. I'm obviously not worldwide famous, and I honestly don't care if I ever am. I like to write and I like to game, and like I said earlier, if my review on a game can be the one honest representation of it out there, I'm fine with that. I don't care if a million people read it and agree with me. I don't care if it only gets 2 views, like whatever. I'm always going to game and I'm always going to write. The other why behind the channel that I kind of want to talk about too is why I don't really go more into finishing the games, at least in the reviews. And that's because, like I've mentioned, I feel like every person has their own opinion, especially when it comes to playing a game, and whether or not a game is worth beating is another one of those opinions. And again, I might want to beat it. I might want to forget every other game I've got in my collection for a week or two until I get through one specific game. You might pick it up and be like, oh, this is garbage, and just toss it aside, forget about it, trade it in, whatever you want to do. So that's why I don't really go into finishing the game, because a lot of the times, honestly, not a lot, handful of the games that I've reviewed I haven't even finished myself, because again, that's just something that I feel should be left up to you once you pop it in, if you do. So my goal with each review is, is this game worth it? And is it worth the price on it? And that's really all I ever try to focus on. Because, especially once you hit all the older stuff, you're going to hit the games that are just as expensive, if not more so, than brand new release games today. And, those are going to be the ones that might not be worth the price, but are worth it to play in general. And that's the cool thing now about a lot of gaming stuff, is a lot of those old cartridges that are worth so much have new digital releases that you can get for pocket change. Like Earthbound, for example. I know last I checked, it was around like a $200 game, just the loose cartridge. And I'm pretty sure the Wii U Virtual Console has it for like $5 or $10. So, that's... I like that because, it gives you more opportunities to play the harder, rarer things and the more expensive things out there in the market. But again, my goal with each review is, here's a game. Air Force Delta on the Dreamcast. I haven't played it yet. It's $10. So if I reviewed this, my main goal with review is going to be, okay, first off, is this fun? Is this worth playing, period? And then, do you get your $10 worth out of it? I feel like that's what a lot of people want to hear about a review for a game. I know that's what I've always looked for, is, okay, this thing costs $25. It might be fun, but is it $25 worth of fun? Or, am I going to be buying a $5 game for $25? So yeah, that's what I try to focus on when I'm reviewing the games, when I'm playing them for the reviews and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of insight and background into why I'm doing this. There's probably been a bunch of crazy little cuts and edits in this video, because I guarantee after the first time I shot this, I thought of something else I wanted to talk about and came back to slice it in, so I apologize for this jumping all over the place who does. Thank you for watching this one. Thank you for keeping up with the vlog. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think it's down here somewhere. Comments all can go down here. Good or bad. Any requests, questions, anything, throw it down there. And as usual, all the links for all my stuff are going to be in the description down below too. So, you know, follow me on Instagram. I keep posting pictures of all the stuff I'm playing, you know, whether it's for the blog or not. And I get some stuff of my son in there. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. I do game giveaways. I try to do it every other week, but got a newborn, stuff comes up, can't always do it. And yeah, all the links are all going to be down there. So, thank you for stopping by. Alright, so this has been episode 2, Behind the Scenes of The Honest Gamer, and I will be back next week with episode 3, where I'll kind of show you guys how I get everything done, my little process of what I do while I'm playing the game, and, you know, I'll break it down into how I do the quick reviews and the full reviews, and, you know, what I go through getting stuff done for the Let's Plays. All that stuff will be in the next and final episode next week. So I hope to see you then, and until then, game on.